Hello everyone and welcome to Bachelor Nation official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and gives this video a thumbs up. Kelsey Anderson, the Bachelor winner, is currently grieving the loss of a loved one. After starring in season 28 of The Bachelor, Kelsey has had a lot of highs and lows in the past year. She and Joey Graziadei aren't afraid to brag about all the amazing things they've accomplished, both individually and together. They still have to deal with a lot of conjecture over the status of their relationship, though. Although they haven't decided on a wedding date yet, they hope to move forward this year. They occasionally receive shocking news, such as Joey's grandmother passing away in May 2024. Kelsey is currently grieving a death in her own family. The Bachelor star announced on Instagram that her 80-year-old grandmother, Sheila Vanoy, had died on February 12. "Rest in peace, Gangsta Granny," she wrote at the top of the post, accompanied by a heart emoji. 7 years and a day after her mother's death from cancer, her grandmother passed away. "It brings me comfort knowing you're together again," remarked Kelsey. She expressed gratitude to her grandmother for rearing her mother, for the many happy times she shared with Papa Jack, and for giving her my curls, which she will proudly display. In addition to a funeral program and a text message that was likely sent by her grandmother, Kelsey provided a number of pictures of her grandmother with other family members. The timestamp doesn't exactly match, so it might have been a separate TV appearance. Kelsey also included a health update that stated, "Grandma is very sick but she is not missing watching you tonight," which seems to have been a reference to her time on The Bachelor. Joey and Kelsey have been pushed into a semi-long-distance relationship because of Joey's current work, which involves performing on the DWTS tour following his victory in season 33 of Dancing with the Stars. Since Joey doesn't show up at every tour stop, they still have plenty of time to meet each other in person and stay connected throughout this hectic period. Given the current tour dates, it doesn't appear that Joey was traveling when Kelsey's grandmother passed away, so it's possible that they were able to stay in touch and that he was able to offer consolation during such a trying time. He understands what it's like to lose a grandmother, as Joey disclosed in 2024. The former Bachelor star said at the time that saying goodbye to a loved one is difficult. When he was in sorrow, Kelsey was there for him. Now, the roles are flipped. Kelsey paid a lovely homage to her grandmother. As she stated, she will proudly wear her curly hair, which is a genetic trait that Sheila passed down to her. In order to preserve her grandmother's soul, Kelsey has a wealth of memories and tales. Hopefully, she and Joey have been able to grieve together during this difficult time in her life, deepening their relationship even more in the face of sorrow. Kelsey Anderson had spent the last year adjusting to a life that felt equal parts whirlwind and fairy tale. Winning season 28 of The Bachelor had catapulted her into the limelight, and her relationship with Joey Graziadei was constantly scrutinized. The pair had faced challenges, from relentless rumors to the pressures of maintaining a public relationship, but through it all, they had stood together. Now, however, Kelsey found herself navigating a different kind of challenge, one that had nothing to do with cameras, public appearances, or online speculation. She was mourning a loss that had struck deeply and personally, the passing of her beloved grandmother, Sheila Vanoy. It was February 12, 2025, when Kelsey received the news. Though her grandmother had been sick for some time, nothing could have truly prepared her for this moment. The bond they shared was one of deep love and mutual admiration. Sheila had been a guiding force in Kelsey's life, a woman full of wisdom, humor, and strength. She had been the matriarch of their family, the one who had held everything together through the toughest of times, including the loss of Kelsey's mother 7 years and a day prior. Kelsey took to Instagram to share the devastating news, captioning her post with a simple but heartfelt, "Rest in peace, Gangsta Granny Red Heart." Her grandmother's passing on the anniversary of her mother's death was more than coincidence, it felt like fate, a cosmic reunion of two women who had shaped Kelsey into the person she was today. The post included a series of touching photos, one of Sheila beaming with her family around her, another of a funeral program bearing her name, and even a screenshot of an old text message, its words brimming with warmth and love. Among them was a message that read, "Grandma is very sick but she is not missing watching you tonight," a reminder of Sheila's unwavering support for Kelsey, even in her final days. Through her grief, Kelsey found solace in the memories they had created together. She thought back to summers spent at her grandmother's house, running through the backyard barefoot while Sheila sat on the porch, sipping iced tea and calling her wild child. She remembered the bedtime stories, the way her grandmother's voice would weave magic into every tale, making even the simplest fable feel like an epic adventure. And she thought about her grandmother's laugh, a deep, rich sound that could turn the darkest days into something lighter. Sheila's passing also brought with it a renewed appreciation for family. In the days following her grandmother's death, Kelsey leaned on her loved ones like never before. She spent hours reminiscing with her father and siblings, poring over old photo albums, and sharing stories that made them laugh through their tears. Grief had a way of unearthing the most profound emotions, and for Kelsey, it was an opportunity to reflect on the unbreakable bonds that had carried her through life's most difficult moments. Joey, ever her rock, had been there for her through it all. Despite his hectic schedule on the Dancing with the Stars tour, he made it a point to be present in every way he could. Whether it was through late-night phone calls, surprise visits, or simply being a reassuring presence when she needed to cry, he had shown her the depth of his love and commitment. Their relationship had already faced countless tests in the public eye, but this was something different. This was real, raw, and deeply personal. And in the face of such sorrow, their connection only grew stronger. Joey understood grief. He had lost his own grandmother just the year before, and the pain of that loss was still fresh in his mind. He knew what it meant to say goodbye to someone who had been a cornerstone of his childhood, someone whose presence had shaped his identity. And now, as he stood by Kelsey's side, he offered her the same unwavering support she had given him when he was mourning. Kelsey often found herself returning to the little things, the details that made her grandmother who she was. Her stubborn yet loving nature, the way she would insist on cooking a full meal even when she wasn't feeling well, the way she always smelled like lavender and fresh-baked bread. Most of all, Kelsey thought about her own curls, a gift passed down from Sheila. She had always loved her grandmother's hair, the way it framed her face in soft waves, the way it seemed to be a physical representation of her warmth and kindness. Now, whenever Kelsey looked in the mirror, she saw a piece of her grandmother looking back at her. In the days leading up to the funeral, Kelsey busied herself with planning a service that would honor Sheila's life in a way that felt authentic. It wasn't just about mourning, it was about celebrating the incredible woman she had been. There would be music. Sheila had always loved jazz, and Kelsey made sure that some of her favorite songs would be played. There would be stories. Everyone who had known her had at least one hilarious or heartwarming tale to tell. And there would be love, an outpouring of it from family, friends, and all the people who had been touched by Sheila's presence. Thanks for watching. If you likes this video, do not forget to subscribe my channel and do not miss any update.